The Republic of China Armed Forces, commonly known as the ROC military, is the military force in Taiwan. Next year marks the Whampoa military centennial. However, many people are unaware of the connection between the name Whampoa and Taiwan because Whampoa is a place name in Guangdong, mainland China. What is its connection to Taiwan? It is related to the history and political status of the ROC military. Let's delve into the history and political status of the ROC military. The precursor to the ROC military was the National Revolutionary Army, which, despite being in Taiwan today, originated on the mainland of China. The ROC military was established in Guangzhou, Guangdong in 1924, initially supported by the Soviet Union and organized by the Kuomintang and the Chinese Communist Party. It successfully conquered warlord-controlled territories in Guangdong and participated in the Northern Expedition, campaigning against the Beiyang government. After this 1927 conflict, the NRA broke away its communist designation, and although internal conflicts persisted, it continued to engage the Beiyang forces. The death of Beiyang leader Zhang Zuolin in 1928 and his son Zhang Shuiliang's subsequent declaration of allegiance facilitated the unification of China. However, this unification brought complexities to the NRA, as it incorporated many former Beiyang forces that surrendered. These Beiyang forces, now part of the NRA, retained significant autonomy, creating a distinction between Central Army and regional armies. The Central Army operated mainly in cities like Shanghai and Nanjing, while various provinces maintained their Central Army armies, but leading to difficulties in the central control. Identification of these Central Army units was possible through distinctive military uniforms and helmets. Amid the Sino-Japanese War, both the Central Army and regional armies jointly resisted Japanese aggression during the Second Sino-Japanese War. However, internal divisions occurred within both factions, such as the Nanjing Nationalist Government, led by Wang Jingwei, which collaborated with the Japanese. Additionally, former Beiyang forces established a new Beiyang government in northern China. Following Japan's surrender in 1945, the Central Army absorbed former Wang Jingwei forces and other pro-Japanese elements. At the end of 1947, the Republic of China implemented constitutional reforms, leading to a comprehensive reorganization of the National Revolutionary Army, which was then unified as the Armed Forces of the Republic of China. By this time, the influence of warlord factions within the military had been eliminated, and all military forces were consolidated into the national military. While the military was unified under the umbrella of the ROC Armed Forces, the diverse backgrounds and origins of various units created distinctions or factions within the military. Although the ROC military had achieved a degree of unity, the historical backgrounds of different units contributed to factional differences. It's worth noting that these distinctions were not as pronounced as the significant differences between the central government and warlord factions during the period of World War II. After the Chinese Civil War in mainland, the defeated nationalists retreated to Taiwan, where they reorganized the ROC military with the assistance of the United States. The Republic of China Armed Forces evolved through a historical journey, receiving support from various nations. 1. Soviet assistance. It was initially supported and established with assistance from the Soviet Union. 2. German education. The military underwent educational development with guidance from Germany. 3. Japanese aggression and education. During the period of Japanese aggression, there were challenges and conflicts. However, after the war, all military supplies were handed over to the National Revolutionary Army, leading to the substantial adoption of Japanese-style equipment by the NRA. Additionally, post-war Japanese military personnel remained, contributing to the adjustment and modification of the nationalist military system. Today, the conscription system and individual soldier training in the ROC military are based on recommendations from Japanese advisors. For US aid. After World War II and the Chinese Civil War, the ROC military retreated to Taiwan and underwent reorganization with substantial assistance from the United States. 5. US guidance and development. US support, including aid and development programs, played a crucial role in shaping the modern Republic of China Armed Forces. This comprehensive journey illustrates the diverse influences and contributions that shaped the ROC military into what it is today. In the early stages of the retreat to Taiwan, the organizational structure of the ROC Army was highly complex due to the fragmented nature of the troops arriving from mainland China. Consequently, a comprehensive reorganization was necessary, resulting in the present-day military forces composed of several distinct organizational histories. As a result, the differences among factions within the military have diminished, leading to increased unity. But the historical lineage of various units within the armed forces can be traced back to different organizational origins. At present, the distinctions between factions within the military have become minimal, with conflicts primarily confined to differences among high-ranking officers. The overall military forces have achieved a high degree of uniformity, with no significant disparities among different branches. This transformation occurred as the ROC forces retreated to Taiwan. As the Chinese Civil War turned unfavorable for the nationalist forces, the distribution of the Republic of China Armed Forces eventually contracted to regions including Taiwan and Penghu of Taiwan Province, Kinmen and Lianqiang of Fujian Province, Yijiangshan Island and Dashan Island of Zhejiang Province, as well as the border areas between Yunnan and Burma. Eventually, the Dakhan Islands in Zhejiang were lost after the Battle of Yijiangshan. Under international pressure, the surviving ROC military withdrew from the Yunnan-Burma border region to northern Thailand, sequence completely disengaging from the ROC military sequence. The ROC military eventually stationed itself in Taiwan, Penghu, Kinmen, and Matsu. Subsequently, sporadic military conflicts occurred only between Kinmen and the Chinese Communist Party, CCP. In the 1990s, these hostilities ceased altogether, leading to a period of standoff and peaceful coexistence with the CCP military forces across the strait. Although the Republic of China lost control of mainland China during the Chinese Civil War, the absence of a formal agreement between the two governments led to both sides, the ROC and the People's Republic of China, continuing to claim representation of China. The ROC Armed Forces in particular still stand as the national military force representing China, contrasting with the nature of the Chinese People's Liberation Army, which pledges allegiance to the Chinese Communist Party. In the post-2000 era, due to changing political sentiments, the ROC military has avoided overtly referring to itself as the Chinese military in public. However, internally and in historical education, the term Chinese is still commonly used. The military songs and symbols also retain elements reflecting the ideology of a free China. But it is different from what the People's Republic of China refers to as China. Therefore, although the Republic of China's military moved to Taiwan after losing control of the mainland in 1949, initially intending to retake the mainland, in the 1980s, as international situations changed, the military gradually shifted towards political warfare, no longer adopting an offensive posture towards the mainland, but moving towards a defensive stance. In the late 2000s, a rising sense of localization in Taiwan led to the dissipation of the Republic of China's orthodoxy, and the Chinese Communist Party regime has become the conception of China in people's minds. And the new generation of young soldiers and officers no longer harbor the same grand nationalistic mindset as before. Instead, there is a growing emphasis on the idea of one country on each side, and Taiwan localization. Although people's mindset has changed, legally the legitimacy of the Chinese Communist Party has not been recognized. So the military still identifies itself as the Chinese military and refuses to use the term Taiwanese military. The term Taiwanese military is viewed as a deliberate political act by the Chinese Communist Party and separatists to belittle the national military into a regional warlord force. Even though the Whampoa Military Academy was in Guangdong, it marked the beginning of the national military. Today, despite Guangdong being under the rule of the Chinese Communist Party, legally, Guangdong still falls within the statutory territory of the Republic of China. Therefore, our national military continues the spirit of Whampoa, not only inheriting its values, but also emphasizing the legitimacy of the state. By the way, in modern times, both the nationalist and communist forces originated from the National Revolutionary Army. Today's People's Liberation Army of China evolved from the 8th Route Army and the new 4th Army of the nationalist forces. In future discussions, we will delve into the birth of the People's Liberation Army of China. Thank you everyone for watching.